In the top left, in the red, from China, the best undead of the region is 120. And in the top right, for South Korea, they were formerly teammates. One of the best night elves in the world and of all time is LawLiet, who's also the master of the Warden. And wouldn't you know it, Neo called it. It's a Warden indeed.
Yeah, man, this is gonna be a banger. We had the talks yesterday, Remo, that you think the Warden is pretty much not playable. I said Foggy was able to beat Happy with them, so it is definitely playable. A little bit lucky for LawLiet maybe to spawn in the upper right-hand side, since the camp here with the Ancient of War, the mercenary camp, it's not too easy to disrupt, but 120 is scouting for it. He can cause some trouble right here.
Yeah, especially when you play in Night of Mirror, where there's wisps involved, or against human with a militia pull. This can be very painful when the creeps get involved. But normally the undead arrives a little bit later. He can't really disrupt that too well, as also the first mercenary goes to LawLiet. He set at 18 supply, halting wisp production to make sure he was going to get the Shadow Priest, which I think is a very good choice. But he halted wisp production, and he's mass repairing, so lumber is going to be quite low here for LawLiet for a while. He would love to steal that last hit, but LawLiet playing it safe, not giving him the opportunity, and he finds a great early game item, the Ring of Regen.
We might disagree on the first hero choice. We are definitely not disagreeing on the first item pick here. A Ring of Regen, absolutely wonderful, since the Warden wants to roam around, wants to be on the map, and having 2 HP per second is a lot of free regen for that Warden. 120 on the other side.
Oh.
Double sack
He's
skull.
tower pushing.
Yeah, double sack skull, ghouls, acolyte. Let's go and raise some towers in the Night Elf base.
Wow. This game might be over very quick, folks. 120, he's a great player. Macro, micro, multitasking, decision making, he's got it all. But also, especially strategically, he's capable of so many different things. Proxy crypt.
What is that?
That is genius. You make the crypt, you don't need it that early for a ghoul rush, but here you can make it proxy, and the crypt is a pretty tanky building. It generates HP very quickly, and this game just got wild.
Oh my god, it's basically a mix of a tower push and a ghoul rush. What the hell is happening? LawLiet in the history of this game, one of the best in defending pushes, whether it be double crypt or tower pushes. With the Warden even, this item of course perfect for this situation, but oh boy is he in trouble as 120 is bringing a new spin to this strategy.
Finally commits to the skill point. Didn't do that before. It's gonna be Shadow Strike. DK getting pressured heavily. Oh, no cancel. Big mistake. That Ancient of War completely destroyed. DK got experience and now needs only 1 kill for the level up on the Death Knight.
The crypt finishes. You can't do anything about it. Good thing for LawLiet that the mercenary camp was open up. So Shadow Priest, Berserker, both available. Need to save these archers, blocks a little, but finds a second path into the safety net of this base. And is LawLiet stabilizing here? Ghouls are pretty hurt. Gets new experience, getting close to 3.
Yeah, this Ring of Regen, by the way, on the Warden is absolutely wonderful. So much sustain over time. 1 archer in the back might be in trouble. The DK also super low. The archer gives him level 2. Now he can go for Death Pact. Is he gonna do it? Yes! And he gets the surround right away with the skeletons coming out after, but he doesn't have detection. Warden hiding in the shadows. And this is still pretty close affair. Narrow tower upgrading. But the DK might be going down. Level 2 Shadow Strike. This could be his end.
Death Pact.
Death Pact again. He survives a little bit more.
Oh my. Out of WarCraft, this entire game is one for the highlight reel. You don't have to cut any sequences out of this. It's just absolutely beautiful. Who will lose the hero? Warden's not looking too good. Ring of Regen, especially in situations like this, absolutely excellent. Narrow Tower number 1 up. Narrow Tower number 2, 50%. Ghouls are coming in, of course, immediately as reinforcements. Moonwells are not looking too healthy anymore. Shadow Melt again, but Night is halfway through. Shadow Strike. Is that the kill right here? Is there another Death Pack? Can the Warden save herself?
DK healing on the Blight could also go for a shop. Yup. New shop could mean new skeletons, new healing from the Ritual Dagger. And dude, that Ancient of War cancel. If that had been cancelled, the DK wouldn't have been level 2. He would have died, and LawLiet would have held this most likely. Oh man, what a punish. And the DK keeps healing with Death Pact over and over. Of course, he's got plenty of ghouls to use that with, but dude, LawLiet, he's got a lot of armies suddenly.
Yeah, exactly. Archers and mercs. Maybe you don't even need the hero here. This is a 6-minute game. This is a level 2 Death Knight, and we haven't seen a single coil. This is so unusual. But I think this one is held. I mean, it's still a little stressful. There's still ghouls. There's a shop coming up, by the way. Excellent. But yeah,
this Rock of Necromancy coming out is going to change a lot. So it's also going to give detection, of course. Finally, there's going to be dust. And nighttime's about to be over. When nighttime's over, healing is going to be low. This is not held yet.
Not yet, of course. Oh, single target damage is amazing. Warden in trouble. Moon Juice. Oh, Town Portal on 23. More archers are going down. Portals right next to the Moonwell. An unbelievable game.
Going down though. LawLiet, has he now finally held? Seems like 1-0. Perhaps he has to wait for more ghouls to arrive and then go in. He's been going in with very few ghouls only. Perhaps that a mistake by him. Level lead or experience lead, that is huge for LawLiet. If he gets to 4, he can go for Blink as well, I guess, or Shadows, Fan of Knives. He still hasn't chosen one of those skill points.
Hunter's Hall is coming for glaive throwers at the mercenary camp. It is daytime now. No region. Moonwells, a couple got destroyed. He's rebuilding one now, but the juice and the 2 he got is empty. Engine of War positions himself a little more aggressively. 1-0 would of course love to kill that, because then there are no glaives.
A lot more ghouls coming. We have 2 coming through the mid. 1-0 lost track of some of these ghouls in the base and sending them back. Of course, understandable in such a stressful game. When's he gonna move in? How many ghouls is it gonna take? LawLiet knows a collapse could be happening any moment with all these ghouls.
This is incredible. Who would have thought that the game would end up like this? Like, completely different than what Europe is playing. Completely different to Moon and Mikael, of course. 2 volleys is a ghoul. Engine Protector is coming. Will this Engine of War do anything? LawLiet has 500 gold.
Oh, that was the moment! Almost half the army getting trapped right there. Oh man, if those had all gotten stuck, this would have been a disaster. But LawLiet getting seemingly better and better dealing with these ghouls. One more is going to go down, and that's level 4 for the Warden. Still holding on to those skill points though.
Yeah, Phantom Knives would be amazing, but maybe you need a Blink. Still holding on to that. Shadow Strike only. Blink, of course, a lot of mobility. It's still daytime for a long time. And where and how to heal. LawLiet is very conservative with his spells to have full mana, so the remaining Moon Juice is not there to replenish the mana, but rather HP.
Yeah. And the healing, you mentioned it, was assisted so much with this Ring of Regen. Without this Ring of Regen, this game may have been lost. I'm not saying it would have been, but it would have been a lot harder for LawLiet. Wonderful, wonderful early game item. And 1-0, I think, finally has to tuck tail and run. I think this has now finally been held. The AP is up. And LawLiet preserved his army so well. Archers and mercs, nothing else. But they are certainly dealing very well with the ghouls. And even a glaive thrower now, and that should signal the end here before too long.
Yeah, tuck tail and tech is the plan for 1-0. So he's not giving this up yet, but it's gonna be incredibly hard. No coil still. It's so much experience he needs before he gets to level 2 coil, which is usually essential, especially when you face a Shadow Strike level 2. Absolute madness on Echo Isles, and some people want this map out of the pool. Nonsense.
Oh, nice deny there as well. Echo Isles. Sometimes it has some fun games. Problem is, it's a horrible map, you know, gotta take it or leave it. It is how it is. Narrow Tower will be going down before too long. The Warden is gonna have to go Blink now to get out of this.
Ghoul might attack her. No, she's in the safety of the Ancient of War and Engine Protector. 1-0, are you deep diving for this? tier 2 tech all 60% for LawLiet, and this glaive thrower is putting in work. What can the DK do now? What's the transition?
Finally, a bit of experience. There have been so many denies on both sides.
Yeah.
Especially by LawLiet, I think. The Warden, again, in a bit of trouble. Would love to have stats, how much that Ring of Region healed. It was a lot.
Yo, and now what? Shadow Strike, there's another Death Pact. It's also another unit gone. And the Warden feels so comfortable on this map now. Just chasing and grinding up to almost level 5. And there's a building in the bottom left that is an expansion as well. So tier 2 unlocked, expansion on the way, Warden almost 5. That push has been held.
I want to zero. What's going to be the follow-up for him? He's got lots of ghouls. He can creep quickly at the Merc, at the Natural.
He bought a second Ring of Region.
That's a first.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
Little reminiscent of Nostalgia Battlefield. Zoshishi was Chimiko, of course, different matchup, but yeah, Warden and a Ring of Region. That is a sick combo. 1-0 is now supply blocked. Now not supply blocked anymore, but oh boy, Naga second. Level 5.
Naga? I feel like she may not survive very long against this level 5 Warden, if you ask me. My guy's looking so desperate.
Yep.
Alright, 1-0. Try something, I suppose. I got a feeling, though, I know how this is gonna go. Sick hold by LawLiet, man. How he was able to do this with so little. This was a scary moment. He's chasing after the DK. That's the much harder kill, but the much more valuable kill as well.
Yeah, what Lin is
How much Death Pact is gonna be there?
This is almost the end. Heal scroll first. And that's the Shadow Strike, and that's the kill, and that should be the victory for LawLiet, and it absolutely is. Victory goes to the Night Elves, man. What Lin is for Orcs when it comes to holding tower pushes, LawLiet is exactly that for Elf.
There's some pretty crazy holds we're seeing today between Fly's hold earlier against Focus on Last Refuge and this. It's been absolutely insane. 1-0 has been doing this build very often these days. He's been playing a lot of W3 champions. He's currently ranked 6. And I think he was yesterday or before yesterday. I tuned into his stream and he was doing this to a very unamused Satini at the time. So maybe LawLiet knew and he kind of saw it coming, and then the defense was really quite amazing. Have you guys ever seen that movie From Dusk Till Dawn? I think that was the reverse of that. He just had to survive the entire day and make it to the nights, and then somehow he was going to be able to be fine here. Great hold by LawLiet.
Absolutely insane. If the series continues like this, I would not mind one bit. We're going through a little break, and then we continue with map 2. Tidehunters is map number 2 in this third series of the day. LawLiet with the 1-0 lead over 1-0, who rushed the Night Elf here. On Tidehunters, maybe go from a rush to an early expansion.
Absolutely see this. An easy expansion to creep on Tidehunters, pretty easy to get level 2 as well. Some nice items. And 1-0 capable, as we said before, of playing all the strategies. Fast tower push on Echo Isles makes sense with the distances being so close to each other between the bases. On Tidehunters looks very different, much larger map in general, and one of our favorite new maps.
Exactly. Absolute beauty of a map where the two of us, Remo, are present. Let's see if we see them here today. And we got map 2 lined up. LawLiet versus 1-0 continues. So, what's in the box for us now? Is it another warden? Is it a keeper? Is it a demon? What the hell? Engine of War here?
It can be quite creative as Night Elf here, it seems, right? You can go for the normal claws camp, you can go for the null camp, and apparently you can also go for the natural. Pretty cool.
But why would you build it so far away? Is that necessary? I mean, creeps at gold mines have higher aggro range. That will take some time then.
Yeah, I guess you can pull it in with the archer, and should work out well. Neo, did you forget? LawLiet is the master of creeping.
Yeah, he's also a Demon Hunter player, as it seems.
We've been seeing the good old Demon Hunter more and more being played again. It was abandoned for a long time for the Keeper expansion play, but especially with the new bears being stronger again, and the new panda being stronger as well, this Demon Hunter first strategy has become a lot more enticing. But it's a lot harder to pull off a fast expansion with this. Honestly, close to impossible. So LawLiet seemingly is going to rely a lot more on straight up one-base play here, at least for a long time.
Okay, instant scout for 1-0. So he knows what's up. He knows that the Engine of War is going to be far away from the base. Does that trigger the inner tower pusher in him again?
A player's forces are under attack.
I don't think it should. Honestly, he could just go for his own expansion. But he's playing aggressive. Interesting. A lot of necromancy, dust, and a skull. But he is running across right away. Ooh, that was close to a last hit steal there by the Acolyte. Doesn't quite get it though. DK, Aura first harass. But he might be too late to steal these last hits.
Looks like it. He has to rely on Frostmourne, of course. No coils with that, so it's just some right-click damage. Acolyte's trying to help. Wisp is getting saved into a Moonwell. Cancelled as well. And yeah, this is nothing accomplished, really, for 1-0 so far.
And one Skelly for the level 2 would be very nice to have. It did cost LawLiet quite a bit of lumber, though. We can see the tech is delayed immensely. 1-0 could have teched if he wanted to, but he is going for a happy-esque play. Sending out the ghouls towards the natural, creeping that only with the ghouls, but there's a wisp here to scout it as well. Both players playing very well.
Yeah, lots of eyes on the map for LawLiet. DK continues to harass like it's 2007. This is what we saw there pretty much all the time. But, of course, back then, nobody even thought about an undead expansion early on. Nowadays, this all works a lot better. Another wisp saved into a building, mana burn early. Alright. And more scouting from both players.
In the north, especially, the skeleton, important to always check the natural. As the undead here, when there's no keeper involved, you should easily be able to get those cancels always with a good number of ghouls. DK in the middle is also going for a tele staff for a bit more mobility. Staffing over to the ghouls. He's got the sacrificial skull still intact and can start making towers here now. Picks up the ring. And LawLiet so far is allowing this expansion.
Yeah, I'm really curious how this reaction of LawLiet is gonna be. He has, of course, the tech advantage, being down a base. Demon Hunter has to step up a little, I feel, get enough gold for the boots, and this is exactly what we see as well. With a little bit of aggression from 120 now, who finally, for the first time ever in this series, and we're on map 2, has a coil.
He's looking for the expo cancel, but there's no expansion to be found up there. Instead, it's LawLiet freely being able to get to the Haunted. It might have the DPS to oh, this is a huge move. This is a huge moment this game. Is that enough damage to get the cancel?
Looks like it. You got this very well calculated evasion is coming in.
Demons?
Not even 6 HP are you? Archers! Ooh, not enough!
Oh my god.
And the DK is right around the corner, but the Demon Hunter was quick enough. Almost a surround.
Jesus
Man,
Christ, dude.
So much is happening at the same time. He's surrounding him. He's kind of blocked. He has no TP.
Oh my god.
He has to
Dude,
wait
what
for
is
the
this
staff
6 surround? LawLiet, are you kidding me? The staff is still on cooldown.
to
Can he get out of here? I don't think so.
Staff now. Oh
man,
my god.
Jesus Christ, what is going on?
Well, we play this a little bit on the knife's edge, do we not? This expansion survives with like 60 HP. The Demon Hunter survives with 6 HP. The DK survives on 40. Unbelievable.
But in the end, it goes mostly in 120's favor. The hero survives, the expo survives. Of course, the demon survived as well, but he had the TP, so he always should have. Naga second for LawLiet. I would not have been too surprised to see a Panda here going into 2-base, taking it late. The Panda is great in the super late game, but no, Naga it is. So lots of control available right now, but that TP being missing is always going to be scary. He can't get surrounded again on this Demon Hunter, otherwise it might be his end.
Yeah, how do people recover from the 6 sequence right there? LawLiet is gonna be pretty happy, I guess. Flute is decent. Shredder coming in now as well, and it feels like 120 is constantly expecting a counter expansion when there is none, because LawLiet is taking to tier 3 with a lore.
DK would love to get some cancels. Oh, if he cancels the lore, that would be huge. And, oh, the Shredder cannot die. If the Shredder gets surrounded, it's a huge catastrophe. LawLiet exposing the Shredder, though. Oh, Jesus, that was so close.
Well-oiled up machine, apparently. Engine of War is in this fight now as well. Tricky situation for LawLiet. Can crowd control a little bit with Dryads. Very important to keep this lore up. Shadow Melt just for a second. DK in a world of trouble. This time the staff will probably not save her, and the Naga turns out to be a wonderful choice thanks to the range, thanks to the Frost Arrow. That was the necessary crowd control, and the hero kill goes to LawLiet.
That was a pretty big mistake by 120. Was microing his ghouls, trying to get archer kills, and had the DK still in the group, so he kept on derping around and lost that hero very unnecessarily. It's an expensive revive, and good experience going to the enemy. Could deny it with the Ritual Dagger maybe, but no. Ghoul goes there to LawLiet as well, and that was a nice little experience boost. He's got a big level lead now.
Yeah. And level 3, level 2. Good items as well. Good control with the boots on the Naga. You as the architecture, Remo, how do you like 120's expansion build?
It's kind of cool. He has a wall there with the graveyard. Of course, for maximum lumber harvesting, that graveyard isn't too good. But when you have 10 ghouls, it's not like, you know, you're going to be short on lumber. So it should be fine. We have the Gargs coming. We have the Lich coming. And once we have like 6, 8 Gargs, it's going to be really hard for LawLiet to get this counter expansion running, which normally he's going to need sooner or later.
Okay, Night Elf gets the shop as so often. Reju is running, replenishment is there as well. And LawLiet is having a good game, but for how long? Gargs, as you said. And LawLiet is only going into bears for now. Of course, he has a couple of archers, but he skipped Dryads entirely. Master is done, but they can't shoot up.
Yeah, on tier 3, it's always a possibility to go for a bear push. 3-4 bears with a bit of rejuve, attack the expansion, and try to break that undead expansion. For that reason, 120 getting towers. 3rd tower up already. You could go for a 4th one. Is he gonna hunker down so heavy with all these towers? Might be a wise choice, because if there's no expo for the Night Elf, I guess 1-0, LawLiet has no chance but to push.
Yeah, definitely feels like it. Feels like it's too late for this expansion. We do have an orb on the Naga. DK gets away. Not level 3 yet, but yeah, this base is so well fortified. Goes for Cannibalize. Interesting. Tier 3 and the Slaughterhouse. Good region on the ghouls and A-bombs with that, of course. Archers parked in the main to not feed them. Also a little bit of just defense against roaming Gargs and harassing Gargs. But the longer the game goes, it feels like 1-0 has this under control.
Yeah, I think so too. Also, this game seems to be a great example piece of what the problem with a Demon Hunter can be. Demon Hunter is not good for pushing enemy bases and not really good for securing early expansions yourself. Both those things are greatly accomplished by a Keeper of the Grove, a big reason why the Keeper took over. Oh, Sapper running into the main with Rejuvenation! But Nova would still have killed him. Sapper goes down, towers being upgraded, LawLiet smartly not attacking in the super fortified expansion. Here in the main, there's less to worry about.
Fork Lightning zaps the Lich. He's gone. Only level 1, of course, but the Demon Hunter, it's all hero kill. The Undead is getting nuked. Bizarro world on Tidehunters. But how long does that work against these Gargs here? Getting attacked now by archers, and the micro doesn't seem to be too great. 2 are going down. More focus on that DK. Is he tempted to go into Death Pack once again? No, next to the shop can go for potions.
Tier 3 about to finish. That means we're gonna have Black Citadel attacking as well. Altar, though, might be getting cancelled. Might be getting killed. The repair is way too late. 1-0. That's a clear mistake by him. Oh, but actually, the demon in trouble as well. Invul Potion. Not gonna be used yet. Staff's back home, but doesn't have a tele-staff, so he's out of this fight for a long time.
And LawLiet realizes, I couldn't break my opponent here, so let's try to even things out when it comes to income. Tree of Life in the north, typical position for that. But yeah, how much can 1-0 do now with the Gargs? He should be up, he is up at 50 right away. 500 gold, 1-0 upgrades. And the Lich is back as well.
And now, 1-0 can creep really, really fast. With the Lich, the Gargs do decent damage, at least against heavy armor. And Frenzy should be finishing any second now, which turns these ghouls into little damage machines as well. 1-0 low lumber at the lab. This would be the perfect moment for a shredder for him as well. There it is.
Naga level 3, Demon Hunter level 4, big level ups, and the greater healing.
Panda, 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 let's go.
He has the supply, he has the gold. Panda it is.
Players' forces are under attack.
Yeah, you need some form of AoE. The Naga good for mid-game control, but late game not gonna cut it against all the masses of 1-2-0. And looking at the map, there's plenty of camps left. This could easily become a quick level 3 panda, and then LawLiet's heroes are looking strong.
He's not getting jacked here, but nope, red spot is more tempting. 1-0 doesn't know about the panda creeping there. And Demon Hunter, a couple of bears and Naga, they're roaming around. And steal experience from 1-0's side of the map. Pretty sweet.
This is super cool. Creeping with 2 armies at the same time. It's not like it doesn't come with a risk. If the panda gets creep jacked, he quickly dies, and so do the archers, and so do the bears, probably. But, you know, sometimes you gotta risk it for the biscuit.
He just found 2 Ring of Regents, by the way. It's a lot of regen in this series for LawLiet, and here we go for the Lich again. Book of the Dead. Oh, double level up for 1-0. That's big. Can he save this Lich? Yep, with a coil.
Bears here, not too good at dealing with especially these gargoyles, of course. LawLiet has to fall back. The demon is strong, but the rest perhaps not so much. Panda is waiting in the wings. He's got a Drunken Haste Breath of Fire ready. Are we going to see a Stone Form against it? Perhaps. Not upgraded yet. There we go. Good damage coming through. Book of the Dead popped in the back as well. There's no Dispel here for LawLiet. This fight perhaps so far going to the Undead. DK dropping low. So is the Lich. Has the healing potion, has to use it. The big one gone now. But LawLiet's forces seem to be dwindling. Naga in trouble as well, running away. She's got the boots. She is fairly speedy, getting blocked though by the statues, but there's going to be a staff. Wonderful fight by both these guys. The heroes are winning out in hero versus hero for the Night Elf, but the army belongs to the Undead, the stronger one.
Yeah, it's still weird to hear. Fork Lightning gets the next zap out. He's holding on to the next Breath of Fire as it seems, with only Drunken Haze. A-bombs are coming in. No Disease Cloud yet. They could use Cannibalize if they want to. Demon Hunter packing quite a punch, also super tanky, despite the Orb of Corruption. And the dust settles. 53 supply for LawLiet, 58 for 120 with a bank of 1,000. But second base up for the Night Elf.
And we see a Boneyard. Frostworms, rare sight nowadays, newly buffed, of course. They don't require a sacrificial pit any longer. Against bears, can absolutely walk out wonderfully. Wouldn't mind seeing a third base for 120 either. LawLiet wants to keep on battling, it seems. With the strong heroes, eager to take the next fight.
Let's brawl indeed. Mana burns are really good. So is the nuke. Demon Hunter gotta be careful, but he has the potion. Shouldn't be in risk, really. But the other heroes might be. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. The combos are hitting well. And 120 needs some time to recover. Too much damage. Maybe a heal scroll even.
And very unusual sight here. It seems like in the late game, LawLiet is going to be outscaling the Undead. Normally it's always the Undead heroes outscaling the Night Elf, but here we have triple hero versus only 2 in favor of LawLiet, of the Night Elf. Only thing is missing is level 3 on the Panda. Doesn't have that quite yet. Now we're standing on Blight. Lots of regen here for 120. This looks like LawLiet perhaps going a little bit too deep, but he's got staffs, he's got items, and he's saving his units and heroes wonderfully.
Okay. Yeah, this is Night Elf versus Undead that you rarely see these days. Night Elf heroes supposed to carry Undead army superior. We do get double Ancient of Wind and Dryads now, so LawLiet is adding a lot of anti-air to his composition.
Yeah, he's got lots of room still to grow. Better upgrades, especially. He needs armor upgrades. Badly does LawLiet. And level 3 Panda and more Orbs of Venom. But also the Worms are going to be extremely strong against the bears specifically. Creeping does not continue. 120 wants to engage into a real fight here up in the north. The Worm is still not with the army. Takes a long time, of course, to build. AP taken out. LawLiet, can he hold at the expo?
No Nature's Blessing. 5 armor missing from this tree, but he's really good in finding the timings to be able to repair, but 120 has nothing of that, focuses them right away. So are the Dryads. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire hits big! There's a heal scroll against it, uses it immediately, and the bears suffer.
Good control on the Dryads, pulling them quickly. He needs to do it. They die so fast with 0 armor upgrades. That's perhaps the biggest mistake so far by LawLiet this game. He forces the invul on the Lich though, and with that 120 has to TP out. He knows when the invul is over, Lich might die. He can't afford this. A few more Gargs going down. 120 at 68 supply. LawLiet lost more though. 51 only left. And the expo for the Undead, the second one about to be finished.
Oh yeah, 3 bases versus 2. Panda level 3, breaths hit hard. Demon Hunter on the way to 5. Naga quite far away from that. Again, a little time for 120 to regen, and there we have it. Frostworm on the way. Yesterday we saw Frozen Breath, an upgrade that you see 1 every 2 years maybe in competitive Warcraft. Maybe today is one of these days again. It would be wild. 2-0 attack upgrades. These guys are massive damage dealers.
The camp here now to 120 and the biggest item on the map. Hoping for the big aura. Of course, the Catca's Pipe. The best one possible. How cool is this game, by the way? How different has the meta become nowadays compared to years past when we're just sitting on 1 base each? Now we have multi-base play, multi-hero, Night Elf, triple hero, and a Demon Hunter about to be level 5, by the way. Really strong heroes for LawLiet, but again, the army doesn't seem to be able to keep up. Still no armor upgrades against now 3-0 Gargs and Worms.
Look who's fishing for compliments for his balance patches here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Very cool equipment for 120. There's good damage. There's again a heal scroll. There's a mana potion. Is that enough? Is the question. LawLiet finds the expo. Ancient Protector that at least forces a reaction. either a tower or move the army down. And that gives more time for LawLiet to catch up in supply. 1-2-0 now, high upkeep.
It's even expensive for him. He doesn't have enough gold to go for more heal scrolls, only the single one. Also, only a single worm. If that one gets sniped, the bears have a much easier time once again, but we don't have too many bears anymore. It's a healthy mix, bears, dryads, and hippos. But it's only 4 hippos so far. Demon in the front line takes heaps of damage. Coil Nova drops low right away. He is level 5 now. But in the air battle, it seems like these hippos stand no chance.
There is Drunken Haze and Breath of Fire now, but hippos? What hippos? I don't see any. Big heal potion used on the Demon Hunter to stay in that fight to burn more. LawLiet is at 50 supply. Really has to rely on the heroes, but I don't think they can carry this. Lich in a little bit of trouble. 1-2-0 down to 77. Panda in the middle of everything, dropping low. And the Lich is healthy again. Panda out of the fight. Everything super hurt for 1-2-0, but nothing's really falling.
Super cool staff play by LawLiet. He held on for as long as he could, but he has to call it in the end. GG is called, and we equalize our series in a very fun game. 1-2-0, I think, strategically came out on top there. The fast expansion, which the Demon Hunter has a very tough time dealing with. LawLiet wants to go back to old school, Demon first, but 1-2-0 also knows how to abuse that perfectly with the new meta.
If the Demon had gotten the cancel on the Expo, I think we'd be looking at a very, very different game here. So a lot of crazy moments, I gotta say. This has been one of the best series so far that we had in all of DreamHack Summer here. Sometimes some top players, they meet one another and we hype the game as we should here. And, it's just like a 2-0 or 3-0, like very clean. Obviously, you're pretty hyped for the winner, but it's not like this epic series. But I feel like this has been kind of crazy with all the surround, the non-stop action, all the clutch moments. And 1-2-0 really impressed that last game with that build order and the expansion and reacting to the Demon Hunter. Like, he scouted super well in the start. That's what we're seeing nowadays. Like, all the stop guys, they just scout so well. They see whatever it is they need to see, and then they react perfectly to it.
All right, who's gonna come out on top and advance into the playoffs alongside Lin and Focus? There can only be one, and only one break prior to the game. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, decision time in the third match. I am super glad that the 2-0 streak is over and we get more Warcraft, especially between these two guys.
And we're headed to Autumn Lives, right?
Correct.
Oh, that's pretty cool to see those guys finally clash on this map. With the way it's going, I feel like it's impossible to predict anything. Like, no idea what hero LawLiet's gonna go for. Maybe he mixes in a keeper, so we'll have seen a different opening opening hero in every single game. But yeah, 1-2-0 is also really hard to predict, which for an undead is quite rare. You know, like usually it's kind of straightforward. Like if you look at Happy, we always hear like, oh yeah, he likes to do like the same builds over and over. 1-2-0, the polar opposite of that right now. He's like tower rushing, he's expanding, he's playing one base. Like you just don't know what you're gonna get with him.
Obviously, we will see Happy later in the quarterfinal versus Blade, but first we got more games in Asia. The decision here, and then it's time for the greatest for Moon facing Sock. And yeah, this match up on Autumn Leaves, I haven't seen it too much, honestly. It was oftentimes vetoed one way or another, so maybe that is paving the way. How is this gonna go? Todd is absolutely correct in giving us the opportunity for a keeper here. In the hands of LawLiet, you never ever know. And our two players are on the battlefield. It is Autumn Leaves indeed. So let's decide who follows Lin and Focus into the quarterfinal. We have arrived, Dreamo. There we go. In the bottom left, the Necromancer's Crab King or something. A man of many nicknames. In the bottom left is 1-2-0. And on the right-hand side, the King of Night Elf Creeping, who is starting with an engine of war at this little camp, not at the shop, is LawLiet in the blue.
Yeah, that looks just cookie cutter standard normal, but not the hero. The Warden once again led to victory in the first game. He's gonna try it now again. Unlikely to face a tower push once more, but yeah, the Warden is gonna be the call. And to see her on the new map, quite surprising. Normally you need to have your creep route figured out really, really well to hit those important level 3, 4, and 5 level up timings. So how is he gonna do that now on the new map? How much has he prepared these creep routes to aid his Warden?
I smell a second engine of war somewhere, maybe. This is oftentimes how it starts when a new map is coming in. That is, of course, an investment that's delaying everything quite a bit. We have the Wisp at the shop. This could turn into an Ancient. Otherwise, yeah, what can he do? The Ancient of War can, of course, move to the expansion. Warden solo, not the best hero to creep. And there it is. Second engine of war.
I'm surprised he places it over here. We have seen also that first Ancient of War be very effective, going from green to merchant to lab, eating through the trees. But here now it's going to be another Ancient of War. Warden's going to take out the Acolyte, get closer to level 2. Very close indeed, as the DK is also creeping up. Gets the Circlet, much better item there to begin with for 1-2-0. Question is he going to expand, or is this just going to be a tech now for once?
Huh. Or look at the inventory. There's no sacrificial skull just yet. There's still a TP. And the Warden says hello. On level 1. So harassing, keeping the undead low. Who is not starting with Unholy Aura this time. But with Coil, obviously. Ghoul shuts the door here. No entry for the Warden into the back without a staff. Also a little risky. Don't want to lose the TP too early. And the second creep camp hasn't started yet.
Yeah, level 2 is being delayed on both sides. I think that's good for LawLiet. He needs to make more archers anyways, and then he can go into heavy creeping with Ancient of War after. I would love to see an Acropolis by 1-2-0. We've seen Wardens being able to kill Acolytes many times before during the tech. A second Acropolis would help with that quite a bit. Big last hit here. LawLiet will try to steal it, but no opportunity for this. He can get a Ghoul though, but again denied. Both players on a very high level.
Yeah, Todd knew it all along for years. These denies are getting more and more and more important in competitive Warcraft. If you deny level 2, if you deny level 3, that's so big. But at one point, you can't deny everything that's on the map, especially with the second engine of War Creep. With archers here, Warden, is it Blink? Is it Shadow Strike? We saw the max damage build by Sonic yesterday. Didn't really work too well, unfortunately. But maybe LawLiet finds a way, or just goes for Blink for mass mobility.
Ah, that last hit, LawLiet was able to steal. Almost getting surrounded. Second attempt. But she's gonna get out. Has the tele staff anyways. But would love to stick around here to steal some more last hits. Oh, they're faking it. They're playing around it. And 1-0 gets the experience. But Warden now almost level 3. Only thing missing here is a couple of wisps for detonates. That could have been impactful as well. But I guess those haven't been fixed. Oh, never mind. There it comes. Gets 2 skeletons with that one.
Lots
Very
of
close now to level 3.
Lots of pump fakes on both sides. Also, 1-0 proactively going for the dust to be able to prevent Shadow Melt. That was a big factor on map 1, for sure. But yeah, still has coils to work with. Warden not level 3 yet. Would love to have the Sasquatch. That's a big last hit, but we'll be going to 1-0 here with the help of the coil, maybe, as the ghouls are threatening the Warden. Yeah, she can't do anything about it. What's happening on the other side of the map? LawLiet continues creeping.
One Ancient of War, the natural. The other Ancient of War getting ready to go to the gold mine in the north. And there it is. That's a level 3 for the Warden. Picks up item at the shop. It was another ring. Sold again. Goes for the boots. Could finance that a little bit easier with the new item sell value of 60%, which was increased in the most recent patch. Big consumable stolen by 1-0, and he gets the big mana potion. Not just great for him, but also wonderful to keep away from the Warden.
Oh yeah, that would have been a lot of Shadow Strike, and this will probably be a lot of coil. We have the Lich coming out. We got the tier 3 rushed here on 1 base with the Slaughterhouse added 3rd for stat use. LawLiet with the expansion in the north. Has to waddle over. Not sure if he has Nature's Blessing, but double lore coming up as well. Nature's Blessing not researched, so everything still needs quite some time for the Korean.
Warden perhaps thinking about going on an Acolyte hunt. She's very hurt. Nova could be problematic. He's going to blink out. Doesn't like the look of that one. 1-0 was able to nicely steal some items on the map, but experience-wise on the DK especially, not looking too hot. As the Archer squad continues creeping. They have not seen any undead forces yet. As far as they're concerned, this map only consists of wolves and kobolds. But I guess soon they're gonna find out.
Oh boy, that is quite a big force rushing north. Is 1-0 expecting an expansion here at the natural? He scouted it before, so he rather soaks up the middle of the map with creeping. Definitely possible. A, boost your coil. B, prevent a super high level Warden, even though there's quite some experience on the outskirts of this map. Another ring. That's the 3rd one, huh?
Again, it's gonna have to be a sell on the Warden. I guess in the late game, the only thing you want to keep out of those smaller items is the circlet, not even the claws. But here, of course, a pendant or something would have been better. 1-0 sniped 2 items, healer boards, and Lionhorn. Leaves the rest in the middle, so he got the items, but again, not too much XP. But tier 3 is gonna finish. The upgrades then with Orb and Frenzy will be kicking in. And the question will be, is LawLiet gonna be ready to hold off against that push?
Doesn't seem like it yet. 1-0 little treasure hunter here, going from one loot box to another. And he wants to eat through the trees here, but yeah, the big consumable should be gone. It's still level 4. And it's Blink.
Always so impressive though how much uptime he gets out of these Ancients of War. Just one camp after the next, getting 2 ready at the same time. The best in the world at exactly that.
Yeah, if you're an Ancient of War, you don't want to be employed by LawLiet. That's a stressful life. With other Night Elf players, you're doing your job at the beginning of the day, and then you stand there for the rest of the game. With LawLiet, you're making miles.
Well, you know, especially in the days of COVID, you have to remember that you want to take a stroll every now and then. You need to Make sure you get your footsteps in.
What?
Stay healthy, Neo. Very
What?
important. Healthy living. Healthy living.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't even know the words you're saying right here. God. A chasing warden? Maybe Shadow Strikes on the Fiends could be good. Draining mana, but there's also statues and there's now a Dark Ranger.
Second big mana. Yeah, it's 2 big manas against 3 rings of protection. That is a little bit yikes for LawLiet. Over the last couple of weeks, he was complaining about bad item luck already. Today, that might continue. 1-0 coming in with a push. I would love to see 1-0 expand behind this, because now all the attention is going to be in this push.
Here we go. Lots of ghouls, of course. They are sniped. The concave for Dryads is pretty good. Not too easy to attack all of them. But the micro maybe lacking a little. Didn't pull it away too early, but was busy with the one in the north. We've seen it from Foggy yesterday, how important Dryad micro is. There's not even a shop yet. There's no tier 3. How is he supposed to hold this?
With Dryads over time, pew-pewing away at these ghouls, I guess is going to be the idea. But chewing through 2 big mana potions, man, that's not going to be easy. Statues in the back can't really be taken out. 1 more ghoul goes down. The Warden 4.5 now. If she gets to 5, she does become a lot scarier.
Still ghouls here. 1-0 hesitant to dive deep. Warden hurt. The first mana potion is gone. Second is off cooldown now. Lich is of course putting in work. So are the ghouls. Not the craziest force by 1-0 anymore. Now we got potions of mana. Let the Warden games continue.
Very nice saves there on these Dryads, even without armor upgrades. LawLiet doing a great job keeping them alive. DK, of course, always coiling from the back. Ghouls will start to fall. A couple of Wisp detonates. Oh, nice mana burns there. Mana drained now. If it wasn't for that big mana potion, 1-0 is going to have to pop it before too long. Nice deny. Keeps the experience away there from the Warden. LawLiet might stabilize, though, and 1-0 decided not to counter-expand, which may hurt him in the end.
Incredible hold so far, parking the Dryads behind the buildings and saving so many of them. This got a lot better throughout the fight. Dark Ranger trying to hunt them, but they're too quick. And all 1-0 gets is now a lousy Moonwell.
Finally, nighttime again for the Warden. Goes for a heal scroll, desperately needed for these Dryads. Oh, intercepting a statue would be great, but killing those without mana burn or cold arrow is so hard for Night Elf.
That's the
Heal scroll used. Fighting away from the Moonwells. This is not going to be too easy for LawLiet. He's going for the hero focus on the DK. Frost armor will be getting dispelled. But a pure Dryad army is not that impressive in the late game.
And of course, no armor upgrades yet. That hurts as well. Going for attack upgrade early. Still no tier 3. Still far away from extra experience. And far away from an orb. He's trying to rebuild everything at the expansion, but 1-0 seemingly sniffs this out. He saw, hey, you're doing a little bit of hero focus. You want to force me into a TP? Come on, brother. Potion of invulnerability should prevent that.
1-0 is, by the way, so close to triple level up. Couple more kills and he's going to have big upgrades here coming his way. One statue is actually going to go down to the AP here, it seems, but there's a backup ready already. And that AP is double level up. And now the DK is only missing a hair for that level 4.
So many fiends. How do you deal with them? No Panda, no Naga, no Fork Lightning, just single target damage. And hero focus continues. This is gonna be incredibly hard for LawLiet. Catches the Coil Nova, is also silenced. Can't blink for a little bit. Not dispelled. He wants this statue so bad to get closer to level 5, but it's just not happening. Level 4 for the DK.
And Dryads without armor upgrades, they just die so fast. It's 1 volley or maybe 1.5. Oh, the Destroyer last second morph. The Warden was chasing out the statue, doesn't get the kill. Can't attack it because he doesn't have an orb. Oh, man. Things seem to be spiraling out of control for LawLiet. He's spending all of his money, but it's only Dryads that he can go into. He doesn't have tier 3. There's no bears coming for him, and there's still no level 5.
Okay. What can possibly save LawLiet now? He's facing the lower bracket alongside Soin and Linguagua. More units streaming in, and now 1-0. Is he looking for an expansion? Yeah, was a little bit misrallied. Last stand, maybe. Concave is okay. But how long can you hold this tree?
From of retrain, here we go. The first fan of knives of hopefully for LawLiet many. Shadow Mallet not going to protect her much longer. Moonwell only doing a bit of healing. LawLiet perhaps going to have to TP out of this. Blink first. But Dryad's now standing in the middle of these fiends. And look at how much damage they're taking. 1 or 2 volleys and they're dead. It's so much experience for 120. One fiend goes down. Coil too late. Warden needs his level 5. One more kill.
Second fiend down, but yeah, he's trading rough. First abomination is in with disease cloud, and so these little dryads fall a lot quicker. The repair not sufficient. There's 5 wisps in the main. Is the lich waiting with Nova? Not really. Is it enough? Can 120 brute force this? Apparently not. One comes back in.
Trying to get that 1 kill, but against DK, against statues, it's so hard to do. Dryad's soon gonna have disease spread across them as well, and to make matters worse, there's gonna be an expansion for 120 coming up pretty soon, it seems. Acolyte in position, Necro coming up already, Warden trying her damnedest. But as so often against the top undeads, the Warden has big trouble in the late game. I think at this point not even 5 is enough. What she needs is level 6. She finally has the level 5, but she needs an ultimate. She needs some more friends.
Yeah, there's so many corpses. Imagine all of this is spirits. But he's so far away. Tier 3 extra experience, but you need to get kills. And she's out of juice once again. No fan anymore, and with that, no damage. LawLiet down to 38, and once this expansion falls, it's gonna be down a base and not up a base anymore. Needs a miracle here. Silence blinks out.
120 has been gouging himself at these dryads. He's about to hit level 4 lich as well. Some more intelligence, +4 I believe is what it gives. Would be very nice. Tree goes down, wisps to die, waiting for the Nova. There it is, level 4. 443 heroes. This is where the undead starts feeling very much at home.
Yeah, and this is no home no more for LawLiet. There was an ancient once, there was a Tree of Life once, there was a Moonwell once, but it's all gone and destroyed. The Sentinel shattered, I would think. Going home now to protect these acolytes with the entire army. I mean, he has no business there in the north anymore. He knows if I'm here, if I hold this, everything is fine. Is the Warden blocked? I think she can blink, but... Okay, there's an opening.
Wants to kill some acolytes. He wants to slowly climb up his way to level 6, but... I don't think it's gonna happen, LawLiet. He tried with the Warden. It worked once. It failed the second time. GG called. And 120 will win the series and the